Hi, my name's Stacy Bressler and I am the creator, author of the Campsite Journal. I have a website about camping. It is thecrazyoutdoormama.com, and I make a lot of printables, but I wanted to make something that wasn't out there yet. It is a full size, so 8.5 by 11 inches, full color, 201 page journal that is kind of more artsy, more flowy, less work log filled than you're probably used to from other journals. So let's get into what you will find in here. We have a little calendar, small one, but it's kind of fun to mark off future camping dates, dates you've already camped, your highlighter or your pretty little marker. I would enjoy that anyways. I got a pretty set of markers on the way. The next thing is your story. So far, I wanted to make it really personal, so I wanted to make sure one of the first things in this journal was all about you. So we have a spot right here for a picture of your setup. So your camper, your RV, your cab over, whatever it is, put it here. And then who you camp with. So put a picture of your favorite camping memory that has who you camp with. Whether it is your family, your partner, your dog, your plants, whatever it is, put it right here because I want this to feel like your journal, your camping journey. So, you know, it's nice to get started. Next, we have the places you've been. This is where you would log all the campsites you've been to. It has a pretty typical layout. The campsite name, the location, and the date stayed. And just for fun, I included a bottom part about, we've got to do that again. So if you have a favorite campsite and you don't want to forget it, you can just jot that down right here with, you know, maybe a little more details. The spot is bigger than the other spaces. So I had 81 of those, plenty of spots to fill. And if you fill it up, I am super jealous of you. The next thing is the states you've seen. While it is up for debate on whether a drive-through or an actual stay in a state counts, you can still write down the date, whatever you choose. It's a good spot to write it down. If you want, you can do something special to the states, but it's just nice to have that record down, especially if you don't have some bigger version. Like I know a lot of people do have the big ones. They put it on their camper door, the wall art. It's just something to look for you to keep track of. Next up, we have one of my favorite parts of the book, the National Park Badge List. So every single U.S. national park is represented by a really pretty, unique picture for that specific national park. And underneath is a little date section where you can write when you visited it. I'm a national park fiend myself. I don't know if you are, but it's still really fun just to look at and find out when you might go somewhere. I did include a little extra spot in case you have more points of interest that you visited, such as important state parks or national parks in other countries, such as Canada. You can write those down right here. We don't want to forget about those. Next up, we have the friends we've made. So there's always that time you meet someone super cool that is right next to you or whatever it is. And you know, not everyone does Facebook or Instagram. And even if they do, it's nice to have a physical log of who you've met. And it's also just a cool way to remember why camping is so fun. You know, you meet all kinds of people. So we have a spot for their name, phone, email, and just a little spot for how or where you met them. So you might put, you know, a campground, a city, an event, whatever it was. Next up is your bucket list. So I really wanted to try and include more picture spots, as much as I can. So I do have 4 spots for you to paste a picture of when you do reach your bucket list destination. There's a little spot for you to write it here and a date when you got there. And when you do, definitely print it, get it printed from the store, whatever it is, and paste it here. Because it's pretty cool to keep track of your goals and actually see them once they're achieved. And in just in case you have more than 4, I do have an extra list to put more bucket list places with the dates. And here is the meat of the book, the Campground Details. So there's some pretty standard stuff that most include, but I just try to lay it out in a nicer way. It's easier to read. I also made the layout so that all your campground info is in one view. You don't have to flip any pages to see it. And that's just kind of nice to get a quick look at something. So we have the campground name, the location, date, stage, spot number, average temps. It's good to know if you camp somewhere if it's too early or too late for it to be comfortable for you. And cost per night is a big factor when you're trying to plan out your camp trip, especially if you're trying to do it on a budget or just save money in general. I also included this best spot for next time, because we've all been driving to our camp spot and we passed by this awesome one, and we just try to make that mental note to stay there next time. But how many of us actually remember that? I know I don't. Even if I write it somewhere, I probably lose that note. So if you do see one that's awesome, you can write it there. There's amenities list, just so you can check off what's available, because people have different goals of what they want. Some people, boondocks, they don't even really need that much, but other people want, water, power, even more stuff like pool and stuff like that. Anyways, you can put it here. If there's something not covered, you can definitely feel free to make a note right here if something that's important to you wasn't included on this list. There's a nearby attractions area, because for me, with 3 kids that are little, I really look for campgrounds that have trails nearby that I don't have to drive to, or playgrounds, or pools, or little gyms for the kids. So that's what I would write there. You might care about, like I said, hiking access, whatever it is. Here is a spot for your favorite memory. What to remember for next time. So if you camped in a spot that was right next to the bathroom, you might want to write that down, because it might be kind of stinky. So you might want to remember that for next time. And then I left this nice big space for a picture or a funny story to make you smile next time you look at it. So just, something that made you laugh, made you smile, or if you're a visual person, there's enough space for a 4x6 picture here. And that actually takes up quite a bit of the book. So I want you guys to have lots and lots of space. I did a lot of market research for this book, and then one of the biggest complaints was there just wasn't enough room for the amount people camped, or there wasn't enough room for writing or pictures. So I do hope that is enough room for you guys. I do have some goodies at the end. I have a quick departure checklist that won't apply to everyone, but is a good guideline for what to not forget. Because I space at the end of a camp trip. I'm just kind of in the ready-go mode. I don't really think about everything. So whether you're a new camper, a forgetful camper like me, here's a general list that applies to most campers, most trailers, most RVs. Next up, tools. It's important to carry your own tool bag, because you never know what might happen, and if you have something to fix it, you might be able to just kind of limp your way through the rest of your camp trip, or prevent yourself from having to go home because the pipes are messed up, the lights aren't working. This is most of what you need. Right here is a spot for your insurance card, because it's one of those things where you might not keep track of that insurance number or that phone number, and if you don't use it often, sometimes you lose it. But it's one of those things that when you do need it, you want to know where it is. So you can write down your number, any important contact information here. And here's a spot for just more items that you like to bring that you don't want to forget. Lastly is a personal item list. Again, it's not going to apply to everyone, but it's just a good guideline to start with, and a little box here for you to write things that are important to you to bring. I did include some note pages, because I know there's probably some stuff I haven't covered for everyone, so I want you to have that. Or just little notes you jot down on those random napkins or whatever it is. You can put it in these pages. They're the full size, 8.5 by 11. They are lined. That's just to make it a little bit easier to read when it's a full size like that. My note to you guys, which you will see when you get it. And that is the journal. So if you really like to be creative, you want more of a flow, you want more space, you want more things to write about, I would encourage you to try out this journal. I think you'll really love it. I love it. So thank you for watching this. My name is Stacy Bressler. I am the creator author, and I also have a website, thecrazyoutdoormama.com. I'll include a link on where to purchase this book, as well as probably an article that I wrote about it, just in case you're a reader and you're not as much of a visual person. So thank you, and have a great day. Bye.